2, 1, let's go.
I thought we said we're not going to do this bit anymore.
Yeah. Hi, welcome to the Roundabout cast, live from Disney.
Live.
Yeah!
Is it really live if we pre-record it?
It's live for us.
Well, it's the most live because this is the first episode ever that we've been in the same room together. So I get to look at all these pretty faces while I talk.
We usually record separately because we don't actually like each other that much.
It's true. We decided to all pitch in and buy our own room. By all pitch in, I purchased the room basically.
Yeah, we all hate each other so much that we all spent large amounts of money to spend Joe's birthday together.
Yay!
Everybody say happy birthday, Joe.
Everyone say happy birthday, Joe. You're going to be listening to this episode.
If I get one comment from a random person that tells me happy birthday, I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably die. I'll probably suicide.
Everybody, let's fucking kill Joe.
Make it happen.
Make it happen.
Make it happen.
Together we can do it.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
I'm your podcast host, Willer.
My name is Bradley, ancient primordial beast from beyond the stars that lives in the sewers and feeds on the fear of children.
Okay. I am the world's first and number one Disney World tourism expert, second-ranked birthday boy, Joe Lloyd.
That is actually true, though.
Which is kind of a segue into our first topic.
Yeah.
Joe's a goddamn expert at Disney World.
Yeah.
This is my first time, and this is Bradley's first time since he's been able to think.
Yeah.
Bradley came when he was 6, and I have personal opinions about bringing small children to Disney World.
We're gonna lay it all out right now. So Joe just wanted. So this is our first night. We actually flew in today. We didn't visit the park. We visited downtown Disney.
Disney Springs, as it's now called, but downtown Disney is what I always call it.
So we're all really fucking tired, which is fun because I think we get loopy and weird when we're tired. And
we also partied like 2 nights ago and took a 3-hour drive right afterwards back to my place. So we've been just constantly moving nonstop.
Me and Bradley saw Dementor, and that's not a joke.
Look, here's the thing. I'm actually not okay about it. Because I don't know what it could have been.
It's actually indescribable.
It was really weird. Okay, anyway, we're talking about Disney.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we're going to do, this is our first night here. We're just chilling. We really started tomorrow.
Just chilling.
But Joe's going to lay some groundwork, some stuff he wants to get off his chest.
About Disney.
About Disney. Okay, so I think I'm going to just start with some basic, like, thought process planning when it comes to, like, whenever I do Disney vacation trips. Yeah. So the first off, whenever you're, like, trying to look at the Disney plan, whenever I do, I always look at, like, the room. I look at my dates and I look at the rooms that I want to do first. If I want to do Boardwalk, or if I want to do it cheaper, or if I want to just kind of go, I look at what I'm available at, which is pretty obvious, but I feel like some people, what they'll do is, they'll just see the most expensive room or just see, like, the average room is and not really realize there are alternative things you can do. Like, the cheapest hotel rooms at Disney World are about, like, $90 a night. They fill up pretty fast, so you need to, like, book them further in advance for sure. But there are cheaper options. There's even a camping option where you can buy, like a camp, like, ground site where you can bring out a tent and everything.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yo, I could have gone for that.
Like, Fort Wilderness, that's the whole deal is you can bring, like, an RV out to camp out into it, or, like, you get, like, a campsite, you can actually do, like, real camping and, like,
there's shower grounds?
I believe so.
That's important.
Dude, people are gonna favorite this video, and it's gonna be like, oh shit, I might want to go to Disney someday. This is my resource. I'll know how to.
Yeah. But like, there's definitely a lot of investigation that you can go into it. Secondly, when you're choosing your date location, you want to do it. You want to do it a month before a holiday, or 2 weeks directly after a holiday.
This is deep shit we're getting into.
A month before, because a lot of people will book up, like, people will generally book before, like a certain holiday, just because they can count that as, like, a Christmas present or whatever, and kind of it's like, oh, we're doing this for this. That's why, like, for Halloween, for example, Halloween season starts at the end of summer, because people will book the stuff for Halloween immediately.
So we're in Halloween season.
Yes, we're in fall Halloween season in Disney. That will last all the way up until October 31st, and which will immediately transition in less than, like, 5 hours into winter, Thanksgiving,
I'll say
Christmas.
There was so much Halloween shit, even though we're still in September.
Yeah, so, like, that's been up there for, like, for this entire month, basically. Like Mickey's Not So. Actually, it might even be longer. They probably pushed it back into August. But yeah, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is also going on. That's a special ticketed event. They bring out a lot of special characters you usually do not see. That's the big thing that people really like about it.
Like who are we talking about?
Like Disneyland, for example, has Kingdom Hearts, Donald, and Goofy right now. They're not here.
Oh, that's right.
They're in Disneyland, California.
And that's because of the Halloween event?
That's because of the Halloween event.
Man.
Yeah, so like that's the big reason why they like people go to these events. Like for example, I think of one of the Star Wars events they had like the Wampa suit, the big monster from episode 5 that hits Luke.
What's up?
So like they bring out a lot of those, and the reason why they do that is because a lot of those costumes require special individuals, so they're not always like available all the time, and they're so niche in fandom that only really people that are really looking for those guys are going to actually come out and see them.
Fair enough.
So that's that. But 2 weeks afterwards, everything's died down. Everyone's gone back to what they're doing. So it's usually a really pretty safe bet. January is the deadest time of all of Disney World. Like maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks after New Year's, there is nobody here.
Yo, I
like straight up, you walk in and go to any ride, and there's nobody here.
What's up, dude?
Everyone's back to school. There are no holidays coming up at all for actual holidays for another 2 or 3 months.
Man.
With the biggest kind of swelling being spring break in March or April or May.
So you get a solid 2 months there.
Yes. As someone
What about Valentine's Day? Is that
Valentine's Day is it's really not that big because it's just because I worked here Valentine's Day, and it really didn't not a lot changed. Because unless you're a really big Disney couple, you're not gonna go out here.
Fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
Joe's dream couple.
God. But yeah, so that's the general premise of what you want to shoot for.
The premise.
During school year is also good. Right now we're in the middle of middle of September.
And still weirdly a lot of kids here.
There's still a good portion of people here. A lot of goddamn kids. It's Disney World, you're gonna see a lot of kids. But yeah, so speaking of kids, if you have children, the number one rule I always say is you do not bring your kid unless they are potty trained. Period.
Oh no.
Oh,
yeah, do not bring because it brings up a lot of problems. It's a lot of hassle, and your kid will not go on it. Cannot go on any ride basically. It's very limiting in what you can actually do.
That's the thing. I came when I was 6, and I'm sure that I loved it when I was 6, but I was young enough that I barely remember it. I just don't think I was old enough to appreciate where I was.
So to follow up on that, that's the general rule of really. I would say don't even bring your kids until they're 8 or 9 years old because they're not going to remember the trip if they're any younger.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because there's just a lot more stuff you have to do with kids. The changing station is a lot more there's a lot of people here and everyone brings their kid. There's not a lot of changing stations. Number one. Number two being is it's just the hassle of if you're an adult and you want to go on Space Mountain, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And so you're limiting yourself on the amount of rides you can ride. And honestly, it's just kind of embarrassing when you have your kid and they're crying while they're being held by Mickey or whatever. So it's just a lot of things I really think you shouldn't bring your kid. However, there's one benefit to bringing your small child that can't go on rides. There's a system in place called Child Swap, which is a system.
Is that like the show Wife Swap?
No. So if you have your second child or whatever, and y'all come to Disney, and the second child's not big enough to go on the rides or anything, but you want to go on the ride with your other child that is big enough to go on the rides, you can do a child swap. It basically means one parent and the child gets to go up to the front of the line, and basically immediately you go through the Fast Pass line, ride the ride, they come out, and then the child and the other parent go on the ride, and the other parent takes care of the kid while they all go on the ride.
It sounds like Collateral.
Yeah, basically.
It's you kill my kid, I kill your kid.
Yeah, so basically...
Young kids are dying here.
It's great because you can use it to be oh, I have this kid, we have this kid, can we do a child swap? And basically, your kid gets to ride the ride twice, which is awesome. And then you each will get a chance to ride the ride with your kid.
Can you go double? Dad gets to go double because mom doesn't want to go?
No, you have to actually swap.
Oh, man.
But that's the only plus to it. I just highly recommend if you're going to have children, you need to be able to walk on their own and be potty trained on their own and be able to just be a little bit more independent and taller because 42 inches is the golden height of...
Golden.
42 inches is about like the average height for a lot of the rides, 48 being for the more thrilling and bigger rides.
Big boy rides.
So going from that, if it's your first time at Disney World, I highly suggest, if you want to hit every park, you go for about 4 to 3 days, and you do one park each day. And if you really want to cheap out, you do Epcot on the day you fly in, and you can kind of basically knock it out. I didn't do it for us this time, for 2 reasons. Number one, buying tickets today was cheaper, essentially, and it just was cheaper if we kept on going out, and I wanted to come on my birthday. So we flew in today and bought for today. It made the rest of the days cheaper for the week, essentially.
Sure.
Well, it did. For me, when I bought them, they were only $100 when I bought them, where they probably went up by the time I bought them.
We got the thing where we get to go to every park.
We go to every park once.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you're going for multiple, if you've been here before, my biggest suggestion is you go only for like 2 or 3 days, and you park hopper. So you can go in the weekend, which basically a park hopper is, it's $80 more for your trip per day, and it's just basically lets you go to any park and hop around the parks. So like you could go to Epcot, go there for a while, and then go to Magic Kingdom.
Same day. Sounds exhausting though.
It is, but like what you end up doing is using the fast pass system. You can really like, all right, we're gonna do all these rides. All right, now we're gonna get a fast pass for this ride in like an hour, and then you go over to the next ride and you do that as well.
That'd be good if you went for like 3 days.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, like you go for 3 days. And that's what I usually do is I'll go for like 3 days, and then 2 days are like basically half and halves for 2 different parks, and my last day is usually full day at Magic Kingdom, maybe a half and half day if I really feel like it. But yeah, that's generally like how I like to run things. And what's sad is like it's basically the same cost. It just saves you probably a little bit more on like airfare flights than anything. But yeah, so that's kind of like the planning portion. While you're at Disney World, y'all, I did these for y'all, but you do fast passes. Fast passes are basically just like at a registered time between this time and this time. You can ride the ride and you basically skip the majority of the line.
Oh, we got that?
Yes.
Man.
They're all free.
Well, so we're thinking Joe needs to start a business where you can hire him for your trip and he will optimize your fun.
Yeah. Like there was a there was a video by Gus Johnson about like when you go to your friend, and the very opening line is basically like, it's like, all right, we're doing this, and then this. I'm like, well, why don't we just do things in order? It's like, you don't understand. This isn't like a zoo. It's a mathematical equation you have to do.
Didn't that video come out like the same week we actually, like Willer and I actually got our tickets?
I think so.
Like, and then we regretted it immediately. Joe, do you fall into that mindset?
Oh, all the time.
Dude, I'm glad Joe's gonna be like that though, because I kind of need that.
Just walking around our gigantic fucking resort, I would get lost.
Yeah, and so for fast passes, you can only book 3 at a time, and after you do those 3, you can get more. So the way you want to stagger those out is basically they're within hour blocks of each other. So like so you have fast pass from like 1 to 2. You want your next fast pass from 2 to 3. And the thing is, you have an hour-long segment between all of those things. So what you can do is you do your first fast pass, and then during the middle of your second, and then you get in line for like another ride that's like 30 or 40 minutes. So by the time you finish that, you're in the middle of your second fast pass queue time. Hop on that ride, and then you wait in line for another ride, and then you hop in the next ride. And then while you're in line for that ride, you booked your next fast pass to go do your next ride. It's a lot of dominoes and juggling. This can all be done by your phone.
Joe, is your tan just from this like weekend?
Yes, I got sunburned.
We were at a beach this weekend as well.
Yeah.
Which is why my voice is dead. I don't know if I mentioned that.
There's a lot of just balancing acts you have to do, in terms of all that. Also, if you're going multiple times to Disney World, at least 3 times, if you go like twice and you decide you want to go a 3rd time, you need to just sign up for the Disney Vacation Club. You essentially buy into Disney, like a small investment almost, and they give you points, which are used to buy like rooms like these.
Oh, yeah, for real, because like...
Yeah.
Not even, like, just, like, the points are already, like, God tier.
Uh-huh.
And then, like, even then, like, when we were out shopping, like there's a bunch of stuff that is like only for Vacation Club.
You also get like 10 or 15% off merchandise purchases
Hell
if
yeah.
you're Disney Vacation Club. Which, by the way, if you purchase anything, tell them you're Disney Vacation Club members, and they should give you a discount.
You know what?
Are they verifying it, or does my bracelet, which they have super bracelets now, that just do everything for you?
If they ask, tell them my mother's name, which I will tell you like afterwards.
On the podcast, Joe.
Yeah. But like, it gives you some percentage off. But like Disney Vacation Club, we've had it since I think I was 8 or 9.
Yeah, Joe's family goes here a lot, and Joe has gone
and by
here
Joe's family, it's Joe.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much.
Joe's a big fucking nerd.
Big boy.
For theme parks, especially this one.
But that's kind of like all the vacations stuff I feel like I want to talk about now. I have a lot more that I can just discuss.
We can talk about...
We got to talk about Belle.
No.
That's... Hold up. Pocket that for a little bit.
Pocket that.
Come back to this.
Yes.
All right.
I want to talk about just our first day, which we went shopping. One thing that is obvious about a Disney trip...
Because people care about our day.
They're listening to this if they are.
Yeah, if someone's listening to this, you're already in the ride. You're in it to win it. So.
No, but this is important because this is an expensive fucking trip to be making often. Yeah. So Joe is definitely like he specs into going to Disney.
Well, like it was like because I really thought about it for a long time. When I was like thinking like, all right, if I want my friends to go, what's the best way to do this? And I'm a tourism major, by the way.
Right.
So, like, a big thing for me is that if you're going to Disney World, especially for the first time, which is Willer and Bradley, basically, because Bradley doesn't really remember much, is there's a lot to do at Disney World. And you can go the effective route, which is essentially, like, you'll go for 3 days, you do the rides you want to do, you get the park hopper, you go in, you get out, and that's it. Which is good when you know what you're doing and you just want to go and be with friends. But if you're with people that have never gone before and you really kind of want them to understand what's happening, you have to be in the park for the whole day, basically. So this is why I said, like, you're going to go for a week. We're just going to buy a ticket for each day that we're going and then go. Because you can honestly fill up the entire day with just going to the parks.
We're going to be here for 5 days, which is where we're like, we should probably also do a recording there.
Yeah.
And it'll be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's $1,000. It's like almost $1,000 of tickets.
It was just $800 for the plane tickets
and for the plane tickets and park tickets.
Boy.
Food here is expensive, so you're gonna be dropping like $1,100 to $1,200, not counting rooms, which Joe thankfully got for us, which is actually the clutch moment where I was like, okay, I'll try to go.
I would recommend
finding Joe and befriending him.
I would recommend just not looking at your restaurant bill when you get it. Just put your card in there and send it off to the waitress.
Yeah.
I guess with rooms, I don't know.
So let's go back onto that real quickly. If you're coming in with a family the first time, you want to scourge, you want to save on food. Definitely drive to Disney World. Pick up food from Publix, because basically if you buy a good enough room, at most rooms, they will have some sort of kitchen in them to cook things and whatnot. So you just buy food and you make your food. And Disney will let you bring food into the parks. So you can pack a lunch and stuff and everything, and then you can minimize the amount of food that you're actually eating out on. It's just, like, my family realized after a long period of time with gas rising that it was more expensive for us driving there and everything rather than us flying in.
Well, you said you should drive.
You should drive, like now, but like when we were like kids, when gas spiked and we had an expedition that was $100.
When the troubles happened.
Yeah, when the expedition was $100 to fill up, and we filled up like 2.5 times, driving in, it's like, you know.
But Joe, what about the 3 young adults, recently graduates who want to go to Disney, but they don't have a Joe to pay for the room? With points, what should they do? Same thing?
Yeah, same thing. You can do that. I would definitely recommend
split the room, of course.
Split the room. There's a lot more Airbnbs around. So do that. The only difference is you have to drive the parks. There might be a parking pass option. I really don't know, but I do know for a fact that if you do pay for one set of parking during the day, you pay for all your parking for all parks. So that definitely helps. Like, definitely get a park hopper at that point, because you'll maximize your parking. You'll minimize the amount of parking spending you're doing. But like, yeah, and then if you want to stay on the park resorts, you go to like Pop Century, the Pop resorts, which are a lot cheaper and are around more of the $100 range, and you split that 3 ways.
Nice.
That's like a lot easier. And those are very minimal hotel rooms, but that's kind of how you want to do that, essentially.
And then just so we went shopping today. We got very expensive food.
We only ordered appetizers, and like we're like, that's fine.
And I don't know how this rest of the week is gonna go food wise. I'm worried. We went shopping at the Disney Springs. I got a one-piece shirt. Me and Bradley got like a matching set.
Fuck.
Oh no.
Oh. Y'all, I promise I was about to sneeze. I wasn't coming over Willer's one-piece shirt. Oh, fuck.
My one-piece shirt do become worthy though.
It's a good shirt.
Me and Bradley got a matching pin set. He's Goofy. I'm Donald. They're
That's
very good
great.
pins. Then I got a Nightmare Before Christmas, Pirates of the Caribbean, and motherfucking Kingdom Hearts 2 Mickey.
It kind of looks awesome.
It's so dumb and so good.
So
I'm super happy about that.
I'm also a huge pin collector. I think when I first went to Disney World, it was the first year they introduced pins to the park as like a thing they were doing.
Yeah.
So I've just been basically doing it the entire time since it existed.
What's your pin collection on/in? Where do you keep them? Where do you keep the pins?
Oh, I keep them. I have a felt book that has like all. I put them all in. That's actually starting to get filled up now, which is kind of.
I think I want to have them on my backpack, which for now
That's also
is
really
manageable.
Yeah,
I also like sometimes I'll get like random like I have a hat that has a bunch of all the pins I got
that's
from
kinda good.
while I worked here at Disney World as a slide operator.
Cool.
So that's like a special collection that I have. But I'm
Hey
the
man, Joe Toro puts pins on his hat.
Yeah,
so
I'm a big
you know
pin-
what? Dude, what if they have a Joe pin?
they won't.
That would have been so cool.
I'm a big pin boy. I've probably spent like $90 worth of pins today, and I'm definitely gonna be buying
Jesus
more.
Christ. To be fair,
Like 2/3
Joe's
of that
buying
was one
some
pin.
deluxe shit.
Yeah, like the big thing about pin trading is you're supposed to trade them, but I always hate giving away my pins because I was always very selective on what I purchase. And
Maybe that's better for grab bag, when you get grab bags.
yes, when you get grab bag stuff like that mystery box pins, that's the ones you usually trade. But yeah, that's yeah, I love pins. But now I just talk about this with y'all, like what you should expect for the next coming days, and what I'm excited to like talk to you about. Which we're going to Disney World. It's amazing. It's awesome. So we're going to 4 parks, the 4 main parks of Disney World. We're not going to any of the water parks. They're really neat. Not a big water park person. They're also like $120 extra. So I just rather.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you know.
I personally don't think they're very much worth it. If you want to go, I say go ahead and go because I think there's
Even
something
that
that's-
video that we were watching, they're like, if you want to like kill your urge to go, like if you got nothing else to do and you got the itch
Yeah.
to go to one, you can go to one.
Yeah.
I guess.
If they were much cheaper, I would say go to one.
Yeah.
But like they're pretty expensive for how much they cost, and I feel like you'd rather just save up and pay for another day in an actual park, or go to Universal, whichever one you want. But so the order that I have a sequence right now is Epcot, Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom.
What's up?
So the reason behind this is, I was explaining this to Bradley, is Epcot has the one with the least amount of rides. It's a lot of walking around. So we can start later, especially after all the traveling and everything we're doing,
Yeah, let's get some sleep.
and get some sleep. And that way we can wake up and it's a lot more relaxed day. And this way we can just kind of knock it out, get it done. It's a great picture
That's
location.
the one with all the countries,
Yes,
right?
it's
Okay.
a great picture location because you
that one seems cool to me.
yeah,
There we go.
it's a great picture location because there's all those different countries. There's a great picture of me on Instagram that I think you've seen where I was drunk and I'm laying across like a fountain,
Hey.
just giving finger guns. That's also a pastime, is drinking around the world.
Hell yeah.
I don't recommend it. I've done it before. My bill at the end of the day for just the drinks was $250.
Damn.
But right now, it's the Food and Wine Festival. They have a little bit cheaper drinks around there. They're
Okay.
less like $13 and more like $7 or $8.
All right, we'll try.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, I mean, I'm not saying every country. I'm just saying like if you want something. But I like Epcot as an adult. It's a lot more relaxed. It's a lot more easier. The major attractions we're going to be doing there are Test Track. It's probably Spaceship Earth.
I do kind of remember Test Track. That shit was kind of cool.
Yeah, Soarin', and if really wants to do it, I don't want to do it, but we'll do Mission Space. Mission Space is pretty cool. Mission Space is the only Disney ride I've ever thrown up on.
Damn.
Oh, is it like more intense than most rides here?
Yes, there are two. So Mission Space is also infamous because
I can go alone if you want.
You could.
It's like
Mission Space is also infamous because about a year into its opening, a small child was snuck onto the ride and died because of it.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Pro tip.
Yeah. Pro tip. Those signs are not there to be mean. They're
there to save your child's life.
Yeah.
How much of the stuff tomorrow do we have fast passes set up for?
I only have 2 fast passes right now because Soarin' and Test Track share a fast pass slot.
Okay.
The more like A-grade attractions or E-ticket attractions, as they used to be called, you can only book one at a time, or else everyone would book the same ride.
Yeah, but within like 6 or 7 hours, we should easily be able to hit it.
Oh yeah. No. Like I'm not worried about it. There's also a Finding Nemo where you go on a little Finding Nemo ride and there's an aquarium afterwards. But that one's more of a relaxing kind of walk around, and we're gonna take pictures and we're gonna have a good time, and goofy poses and maybe a little bit, probably a little bit more shopping because they have a lot more of a wider range of pin selections you can see based on the countries. Like they have Donald Duck themed like Mexican pins.
Okay, hopefully they don't have any of those racist Donalds from the 40s.
Oh no. Epcot's really cool. Give a brief. So Epcot also stands for experimental. Oh God, I just forgot this name.
It's cool, man.
Yeah. Experimental community of tomorrow. Basically, Walt's idea was that people would live where they worked. Essentially.
Where does the P come from?
EP, experimental.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. He had to make a name.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny though, because that's not what Epcot became more of a symbol of unification of the world. But the Disney College program became more akin of what Epcot is in Walt's mind than what Epcot actually is. Epcot also stands for every paycheck comes on Tuesdays. Or Thursdays, I'm sorry, not Tuesdays. But yeah, Epcot's going to be a very basic day. The next day, however, which is Hollywood Studios.
I'm excited.
Which contains 2 lands I have not been to yet, which is Toy Story Land, which opened last summer.
2 lands.
Yeah.
I have yet to conquer.
Toy Story Land, which I've yet to go to from last summer, and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, which is the hot new attraction. This is the one I'm worried most about because of Galaxy's Edge, because there's going to be so many people trying to get into it. So far, what I've seen on just like ride times, it seems pretty okay. Like there's not a lot of people that I thought would be there, which is good. But like that day is probably the day we're gonna have to wake up early and go and make sure we are able to hit everything that we want to hit and have time to like do more stuff with that park later. So at Hollywood Studios, the 2 main rides at Hollywood Studios is Rock and Roller Coaster featuring Aerosmith.
Yo, the real Aerosmith. He's there all the time.
The band.
Damn, that's kind of cool.
Bradley jokes, but
that's kind of badass.
And the Twilight Zone presents Tower of Terror.
Cool.
That ride. So Tower of Terror is the best themed ride in all of Disney World.
What's up?
And the Disney World version of it is the superior version of it compared to Disneyland. There was a video I posted several months ago about it, but essentially it perfectly tells its story that it's trying to tell within its own ride.
Yeah.
It has wonderful atmosphere. It's ominous as you walk up to it. Just everything about it just is perfectly packaged together, and it's like a wonderful creation of Disney Imagineering.
It's legit.
And it's very unique. It's only like...
This is beautiful prose.
Yeah. It's only based off the Twilight Zone series. It's not based off something very specific of the Twilight Zone. It's just like, here's the Twilight...
Invoking the feelings of Twilight Zone.
Basically, yes. And they had the host come in and do like a little bit as like a TV thing for it. Like, he like introduces you to the ride, basically. But that ride's scary. Like, every time it's just terrifying. And it's fantastic.
We gonna see.
Rock and Roller Coaster is probably the most thrilling roller coaster at Disney World.
We gonna see.
Yeah, that one's fun. I don't want to spoil too much about it, really, but it's Aerosmith
No
theme.
Disney park spoilers, please.
Yeah, it's Disney World theme. It's Aerosmith theme. It has Aerosmith songs playing the entire time. Has a lot of rock and roller motifs in it. Really cool. It has this really creepy thing with your wristbands. So your wristbands, by the way, have RFIDs inside of them and tied to your name. So what will happen is you'll walk by posters sometimes, and they will automatically scan your ID and put your name up on the poster.
Yo, that's cool.
Yeah, and your like place of like where you're coming from and everything. That's really
so people know where I live and they can follow me home and kill me.
Yeah, it's
nice.
It's kind of creepy.
Nice.
Do it.
The other thing that's there is the Indiana Jones Spectacular Stunt Show.
Spectacular.
Which is basically like they show you like like a good amount of the stunts, like a large portion of the stunts they did in the original Indiana Jones movie. And just tell you like, oh, this is how this all worked and like how it all works. Are you okay, Bradley?
Yo, spectacular is a funny word to me.
Bradley gets to see the...
Every word's a funny word to you.
Yeah, I can't do it, yeah.
Bradley actually gets to see the faces I make whenever he says weird things now.
Spectacular is funny, and then...
Do you get to do the ball thing where you run from the ball?
Yeah, he's on the ball. It's not like it's a show.
Okay.
There's also group interaction where you can like, they'll ask for people in the audience and they'll bring you on. You'll be extras on the set.
Fun.
Yeah, so those are good times.
I want Indy to shoot me.
So, there is a ride that used to be at Hollywood Studios, Willard, that is literally your dream ride. It's called the Great Movie Ride. This ride was basically, you would get in this cart and you had this guy go through, like, a live person there, and he would be talking to you, and he would be going through all these classic movies. So you would be, like, basically on the set of these classic movies going through all of them. And then you have other cast members that are in the ride and they interact with you and talk to you, and they have their own stage show. So like there are parts where like you're in the John Wayne film and you're getting shot at with
fantastic
with stuff, and there's a gangster film, and then they have Alien there, and the alien pops out and like tries to attack you and everything. They got rid of it 2 years ago because they decided to change it to Mickey Mouse Great Train Escape or something like that.
Why the fuck are we here?
I don't know.
Just to suffer.
But I love the Great Movie Ride. It's one of my favorite rides they ever had at Hollywood Studios. It really kind of exemplified what Hollywood Studios was about, which was about movie making.
Twist the knife, why don't you?
Yeah. And it's really sad that it's gone. I thought I'd just give out a special shout out because I just want it back.
What's on day 3, Joe?
So day 3 is Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom has my 2 favorite like kind of thrill rides: Dinosaur and Expedition Everest. Dinosaur is my favorite dark ride probably ever. That was very basic. You go back in time and you drive around with dinosaurs.
Nice.
Expedition Everest is one of the best themed roller coasters also ever made. It's super fun. I don't want to spoil anything about that ride because there's definitely some twists and turns.
You have to eat each other.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh,
I've always wanted to do that.
Dibs on eating Joe.
Another cool thing about Animal Kingdom is that Kilimanjaro Safari, which is a 30-minute safari ride, in which you actually are in the Jeep and you go around and you see a bunch of like African animals and everything. It's an actual like
in real life.
It's a zoo. Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been on safari. I'd like to do that.
Yeah, it's tons of fun. That one usually has
Don't fuck with an ostrich. That's what I'm saying.
The other thing.
Omega goose.
Yeah. The other thing that's there is Pandora, the World of Avatar.
I'm very excited for that.
One of the best themed lands I've ever seen at Disney World. Which is funny that Animal Kingdom has one of the best themed lands because it also has one of the worst themed lands ever in the entire world, and it blows my mind every time.
He's been every park, folks.
Yeah, it's well, I take that back. The Marvel Land at Universal Studios in Florida is the worst I've ever been. The one Dino Land USA is the worst Disney themed area because it's like a carnival but with dinosaurs, and it makes no sense with the rest of the park. Like you will walk into it and you'll realize this doesn't make any sense.
Which part has the giant turkey legs?
They all have the giant turkey legs.
Okay, just wondering.
Yeah.
I guess I should probably get one.
Yeah. But that one is going to be
$40.
That one's going to be so like basically the idea is Epcot's really slow. Hollywood Studios is going to be pretty high octane comparatively, and Animal Kingdom's going to be in more of a middle ground of like just like, oh, here's like more stuff that's really fun, but we're going to be doing multiple rides on that trip rather than like a lot more stuff. A lot more. There's a lot less shows there. There's a lot more rides.
And the final day.
On my birthday, we're going to Magic Kingdom, which is the classic, quintessential Disney World location.
Is that where I can JoJo pose with Goofy and Donald?
Yo, dude, please. Please.
So there's character meet and greets on all the spots, but there are going to be more classic poses at the Magic Kingdom. Okay. I can't remember where they are. I'm not a big character picture person.
I just want like Mickey to do a with his like knees bent.
You can get a picture with Sorcerer Mickey at
Dude, we need to get like a wide angle lens and then get someone low to the ground so we can do like the Dio and Joe Rogan. That'd be fucking cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
So at Magic Kingdom, the big ticket attractions are the 3 mountains, which is Splash Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, and Space Mountain.
Yo.
Two of those are in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Correct. Which ones? Not Splash Mountain.
Space. Wait, Splash Mountain is in.
Spooky Splash.
So Splash is in
That's Cali River Rapids, which is the Animal Kingdom.
Alright.
Okay.
Space Mountain.
Also has Bud Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin, which is probably my favorite ride in all the park.
Yo.
I've ridden that ride every single time I've come here, and I know how the max score on that ride.
This is Joe's revenge on me beating on him in every fighting.
Oh, it is. Trust me.
Alright.
Yeah, so the 3 mountains at Magic Kingdom are kind of the big e-ticket items. Those are the ones that we're going to hit, and we're going to do them all. Splash Mountain's a fun little kind of log ride. Nothing really crazy about that one. Big Thunder Mountain's a railroad. And then Space Mountain is a classic roller coaster. It's tons of fun. It doesn't have any loops or big drops, but the speed at which you go and how tightly your turn is so intense, and it's great. It's also horrifying with the lights on. Because you're based here's the track you just came off of that you just went looped around, basically. You did this motion, the track that you were just on is right above you about that high.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
that could be fun.
Don't put your hands up, kids.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but I love Magic Kingdom. It's the park that if I had to choose to work and manage it, that's the park. There's just so much love and craft that goes into Magic Kingdom. I'll be sitting there just pointing out all the small little details and things, which reminds me we need to find a book, which is the Hidden Mickey's book. So you know how in Kingdom Hearts there was those
Hidden Mickeys?
Yes. That originated here at Disney World, where they put Hidden Mickeys in all the different locations. There's some here in Saratoga Springs, there's some in downtown Disney, there are tons of them in all the other parks as well.
That's cool.
And they range from being as big as a roller coaster to being literally a dot on the ground.
A whole roller coaster could be a hidden Mickey?
Yeah, Expedition Everest, its track is laid out like a hidden Mickey.
Ooh. That's a freebie for all you kiddos.
Yeah, there's also solar panels in the shape of a hidden Mickey as well.
Ooh.
But you literally can only see that by a picture on the map. But that's kind of the game plan there. Friday we go home. But my biggest thing is Bradley, I think, is going to like the dark rides, which are more of the storytelling kind of.
I'm probably gonna like everything.
Yeah. You're definitely you will learn from what you've told me are gonna like the more thrilling rides. I think you're gonna like Dinosaur. I think you're gonna like all the roller coasters. I know you say you want more thrilling rides, and I get that, but the reason I really like Disney rides is they take so much care in hiding the tracks and really sell you on this story that they're doing with the ride and less on the thrill of it, which is something incredibly unique that no other theme park does. Because the theme park will basically say oh, we have a roller coaster, let's call it the Batman, but there's really a very loose.
Okay, yeah.
There's a very loose kind of connection.
Batman do be fun though.